last week. Hardly any unforced errors. Sampras at 3-all. And I think, Leaf, looking at these two guys, Sampras has just got to remember who he is, what he's done, what he can do.
Yeah, he's talked a lot about that over the last couple years. 30 tournaments since he's won a title.
Still the same menace, though, for players, however experienced, seeing him the other side of the net.
Left. Second switch.
It's interesting to note that these guys have squared off once before. And Sampras won their last encounter just this season at the World Team Cup in Dusseldorf, and that's on clay. Sampras just squeezing by in a breaker in the third.
No, that's not his usual half volley. They're usually impeccable. Came up on it too much. Came round on it too much.
Well, this is what we thought might happen, that Canas was going to get some of these Sampras serves back. He was going to test Sampras's volley. And always the question, can you get enough serves back?
And can Sampras get enough first serves in? Well, and second serves. "30 years old, playing 24 years old." Oh, what a beautiful volley. Is anybody better at picking them off his toes and guiding it into the corner?
Well, Sampras and Tim Henman, really the last purveyors of the consistent serve and volley. I guess you'd say Greg Rosetsky as well. And you'd have to say that Henman perhaps has the best hands. Sampras was really a baseliner when he was young and became a serve and volleyer as his serve developed. So his volleys developed behind his ground strokes, but you can see they're as good as anyone's. Again, opening up the racket face on the low volley, bending down to the ball, does a lot of good things at the net.
And he used to have a two-handed backhand. He swapped as a junior to the one-handed, glorious backhand. He sometimes shows us, but not always. It's a sort of barometer of his form, I always think, Leaf. His backhand, is that rolled backhand working down the line, that one he loves to play? And is that wide serve working? I look on those two things early as a barometer for him.
Yeah, and I even think that backhand where he flattens it out down the line, because it's been a trouble spot for him, and he's tried to manage that backhand a little bit better, because gradually guys have started picking away at that side. So the lights have been turned on here in Cincinnati as we transition from the late afternoon into the early evening. Fabulous tennis stadium here.
Not an easy time, I don't think, really, is it? This sort of, it's rather like driving a car. You either want it black or day. You know, this is sort of semi.
I think that would favor Sampras because he has the bigger serve. But these days, Canas showing that it doesn't mean much. There's so many facets to winning a tennis match, and here Canas is going to have to be careful about that second serve. Short in the box, and really just sending an invitation to Sampras to come in behind it.
Well, that's what he did all day long, playing against Roddick. In fact, all the way through the tournament in Toronto. Just guiding the ball past. Effortless. No pace on it, really. Oh, beautiful shot.
So this is the kind of point Pete Sampras wants to play. Just putting on lots of pressure, forcing Canas into difficult positions. But the kid from Buenos Aires has the answer. Oh, that is a sweet lob.
That's as good as Hewitt does, and that's saying something. That's the shot you were talking about, fairly flat down the line.
And I just feel like Pete doesn't get that front foot down on the backhand. If he misses it, he usually misses it long. Well, that's the difference when you get your weight out in front of you and you're down on the ball. You can see how his weight was down. And that was the best backhand I've seen him hit in a couple weeks.
Game, Canas. 4 against all.
So I just wonder if Pete Sampras probably did watch the final of the Toronto tournament and saw just how Canas more or less dismantled Roddick's game. What was it? 1 unforced error in the first set for Canas. Unbelievable. Not many more in the second set, about 6, I think. That's a volley he doesn't always miss either, by any means. Very good at the off backhand volley. And that's a shot he's been playing very successfully of late, but not today so far. That sort of push drive volley from low.
Now, Canas, having played Roddick in the final in Toronto, he's used to the big serve coming in, so I think he's going to see that Sampras serve pretty well.
Tough point this. 15-30 at 4-all. Tougher still.
Well, that's what you do against a guy who has a tremendous serve. You try and build an advantage off the second serve where you can. Canas focusing on that point, coming up with something good. Earns him a break point.
Giving himself advice there. Very good play indeed by Canas. Excellent returning. He's got the break. He'll serve for the set.
Get ready for the new season of Premiership football.
Yes, he's got the break. Can he serve out the set? 5-4. Rather better than he meant, I think. Oh, cleaned the line.
He hit it well. Nearly too well. Canas has done so well to get the breakthrough. It'd be a shame to throw it away with a mistake like that.
Won't be too proud of that shot. Well, we're seeing for the umpteenth time the extra little bit of tension serving for a set or a match.
Left for switches.
Just sense that this crowd is an intangible today, and they're going to do their best to get Sampras through this match. And I think they helped them build the tension there.
Yeah, I think they did. There are some Argentine supporters in the crowd, that's for sure. There were in Toronto, there are here.
But this is the heartland.
But not many.
Yeah, this is Ohio. It's right in the middle of the country. You've got a three-time champion here. I think you know who they will support. Certainly they are warm hosts to everyone in the event.
Well, that was a great return from really wide.
Sampras really not doing enough with the serve to hurt Canas. Canas is doing a lot of good things. Taking it early, hitting it sharply, keeping it low.
Terrific bend in the air there on that serve. But he's not really serving very fast. That's life.
You could tell by the body language that Sampras thought that was in.
Well, that was by a whisker. This is incredible.
Well, again, not much of a second serve from Sampras. I mean, Canas didn't really have to move, did he?
I don't think he did, no. Well, that gets rid of a bit of tension. Quiet warning for Pete Sampras. turning again. Well, that's extraordinary. No breaks at all, and then all of a sudden we have three breaks in a row. Now can Sampras do to Canas what he did on the last Canas serve?
Now, again, Canas so impressive off the service return. He stands in and takes a good swing at that second serve. And you can see that Sampras has been forced to stay back. He hasn't been able to continue serving and volleying, and that's a sure sign that Canas has got inside his head.
He looks quite a little guy when you see him out there, Canas, but he's 6 feet tall. And he's walking very tall indeed in the tour this year. Gosh, what a 43 wins to 19 losses. I mean, that's pretty sensational.
Yeah, he's the real deal. He's come on so strongly and so confidently, and really it's been a season of great results for him, and a season of bests for him. Quarterfinals at the French, the best result he's had at a Grand Slam. Best result at a Masters Series, winning in Toronto. And he's also reaching new career highs in ranking as well, plus match victories.
Well, if Sampras was coming into this match just hoping, as so often happens, that Canas, having really won a great tournament in Toronto, would be a little flat, I don't think that has been the case, Lee, here.
No, certainly not. And I love that about Canas. He's a great competitor. Feisty, plays with heart, plays with passion.
He's so clever at these passes. He really measures where he's going, and he measures the amount of weight of shot he puts on it. Doesn't hit hard unnecessarily.
Well, Pete created just the type of shot he wants. That forehand from the middle of the court. I think perhaps he may have picked the wrong one. There's plenty of space down the line. So Canas just a couple points away from this first set.
Not playing well. He's going to have to be Houdini to get out of this.
First set is Canas, 7-game to 5.
So Sampras is going to have to improve radically, or the man, Canas, is going to win this match.
Looking for a loan?
Oh, the story of that first match, and the crowd were not too happy at Pete's performance in the last game or two. He's going to have to improve. Nice, neat figure. I can't believe that shot. I mean, throughout his career, I've never seen a shot like that from Sampras.
Well, he tries to come up with something a little cute. It really gets away from him. He missed it badly.
He didn't have to come over that ball, actually, which I think made it a little bit more difficult, perhaps. Why not just chip it over?
Well, Sampras sensing that he has to do a little more, and he's starting to get the first serve in. An ace on the opening point, and that one out wide with just a little more juice on it.
There he goes again. It's almost effortless the way this fellow passes people at the net, and you can't read him.
Now, this is why it's so tough to serve and volley consistently these days. The 21st century player has weapons on both sides, and this man has danger looming on the forehand and the backhand.
Yep. Somehow it seemed obvious, but to Canas, it looked so easy. Well, that's better. The implication being that wasn't in. That implication was that it was in. And I'm sure.
Lars Graf in the chair, no relation to Stephanie Graf.
First person I've ever heard call her Stephanie. I know she wants it. Not easy.
Well, I admire his persistence, and this is what a game plan is all about. He's sticking with it. He's trying to find a way to win, serving and volleying. Tough task right now because this is a tough shot, but he closes it out.
So easy to pull that wide, isn't it? Going back and to the left. Well played.
Bill, it's also easy to give up a game plan. And Sampras isn't going to do that. He knows his game. He knows what he can do well. And he's still trying to press the advantage by serving and volleying.
That first set, he looked, I don't know, what's the word?
Insouciant.
Well, I'm thinking of the Indian word, malish.
Malish?
Yeah, which is sort of the Indian troop term for couldn't care less. He almost looked in that mood. Well, he's got to snap out of it.
I thought I topped you with insouciant, but
it's a very good
malish
word.
is a good. That I'm not sure. That's a tough one.
No, you did top me. I have to admit defeat there. Your word's English, at least I think it is. Came from the French, I'm sure.
No, I missed it.
He doesn't usually miss that, does he?
No. Malish, that sounds like, you know, a first name of a great Indian doubles player.
Well, it could well. Yes. He used to play with
I'm thinking
Bhupati.
of Mahesh, though. Mahesh.
Yeah, Mahesh.
Mahesh Bhupati.
Yep. Does leave a bit of a mark sometimes, particularly at night if there's a bit of humidity there. Don't worry, Lars, he's not going to attack you.
Well, not yet. It's getting to the point where he's going to start questioning a few of these. The point might be a little bit bigger next time.
A little bit of doubt in Sampras' mind about that serve too, I think. Who cares? 40 love it was.
Well, so far Sampras just has been unable to find the right combination of return and how he wants to play a point on the return games.
Oh, lovely team. Really cool pass.
Well, these conditions don't look as fast as in the blazing sun. I mean, this volley just doesn't get through the court. Canas, relatively easy time with the pass.
Sampras guessed right and stayed there.
Yeah, Canas again making Sampras work.
Well, he was running a risk there, backing away behind the tram lines. That made it imperative to hit a great shot, and it wasn't.
Vintage Sampras when in trouble. Get that first serve in.
Good variation in the serve, but nowhere near his faster serves that he can do and has done. Is he like Henman, I wonder, and just aiming to get first serves in more often?
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed this year about Sampras is he's not delivering the consistent pace that he used to. I used to serve consistently over 130, averaging that kind of speed. And I think after so many years out here on the tour, perhaps he's lost half a step, and that first serve may have lost 5 to 10 miles per hour here and there.
Sampras.
119 that last serve.
Sampras needs to get one.
He still looks to me a little bit, I don't know, coming out stiff or something. This is a first round match after all, and I don't know, he hasn't reached his best form anyway, but he's hanging in there.
And that's how Sampras tends to play. He's a slow starter, notoriously slow, and really begins to build momentum as he finds a rhythm from what his opponent gives him. And I think when he got that point penalty, smashing the ball out of the stadium, I think that said a lot about how much this match means to him. Because these two players are going in different trajectories. Canas moving up, and Sampras, sadly, sliding down the ranking list.
Yep, and Canas, I think, has overtaken Sampras on his departure downhill. So it's going to be very interesting, the rest of this match, actually. Beautiful sky. It's been all day. It's been a cloudless sky, really very hot. And obviously Sampras is going to be extremely pleased, I think, that he's because he's going to have to do a lot of running. But this match is the evening match. Doesn't look like evening match, does it? Packed crowd, and I'd say about 99.9% on Sampras's side. He's got great support out there.
Well, this is a lovely time of day here in Cincinnati. William Faulkner wrote a book called Light in August, and it's a special sort of light at the end of the summer. You can see it on the greens around the stadium here, Cincinnati.
Did he come from this area?
No, from Mississippi, one of our great Southern riders.
Yeah.
Thank you. Take any seat, please.
He has this rare ability not to look particularly tired or hot.
I'm not sure he's ever been tired in his life, this guy.
He makes other people tired.
Yeah, not only tired, but tired of seeing the ball come back. I mean, he's able to play such consistent tennis, yet aggressive tennis. Very tough man to beat. We saw that last week in Toronto.
Clever shot by Sampras, reduced the pace.
Now that's the second time we've seen Sampras set up the point beautifully, and the second time he's missed on the penultimate shot. I mean, he's got to convert those chances.
Well, Canas is up to it again. No unforced errors in this set. Nearly 4 games played and no unforced errors.
Okay, Canas, 2 games on. New ball, please.
That's Hernan Gumi, the coach for Guillermo Canas, fellow Argentine and a former touring pro of some distinction.
Well, he was a good player, wasn't he? I'll tell you, so many good players coming out on that conveyor belt from Argentina now. It's incredible.
They really do have a number of fine young players. Semi-finals of the Davis Cup, and they've used 7 different players in their run through to the semi-finals. Boy, and that must be a dream come true for a Davis Cup captain to have so many options. For Patrick McEnroe and the U.S. team, the options are shrinking.
And they must be looking forward to going to Roland Garros to play the French after the US Open, and we'll be there. You can watch that on Sky. Should be a great tie.
Yeah, you know, Patrick McEnroe, he'd love to have Agassi play, but Agassi has said he will not be playing. And of course, does McEnroe consider Sampras an option on the red clay at Roland Garros? I'm not sure he would think of it.
No, I very much doubt if he'd play him in the singles. I said to you before, if I was him, I'd play him in the doubles.
And of course, that begs the question, you know, would Sampras go to Davis Cup to play doubles only?
Yeah, sure. It's a matter of pride. So often the match depends on the doubles in Davis Cup. Oh, beautiful return, taken early.
And of course, I said recently that, you know, maybe they should consider Bob and Mike Bryan as a doubles team. They went in Toronto last week, their first Masters Series event.
Not sure I wouldn't play the Murphys ahead of them.
The Jensens brothers?
I mean the Jensens, yeah, Murphy, Jensen and Luke. At least we'd have a laugh. So Sampras is getting a little bit better, I think. So this man, Canas, better watch out. So Canas serving, always serving to catch up after the break. Well, I'm amazed he didn't make that. Sampras forced to do an acrobatic volley. Funny, when you jump that wide on the volley, your hand automatically turns left, doesn't it, to get that high ball over. And Sampras had him cold.
Yeah, that was a very makeable pass, wasn't it?
Sure was. There are signs here that Sampras is just beginning to impose himself. Maybe he's remembered who he is. He's Pete Sampras. He's in 13 Grand Slams. He's not going to be beaten by this guy. What's he got? A couple of titles? No, maybe 3 after Toronto. Came round too much on that shot. Sampras 63 titles. Canas 3 titles. Only 60 more.
Jeez, it's a good number. He's been stuck on 63 for a couple of years now.
Yes. What a one to finish with, though. 13th Grand Slam.
Well, second serve, and a good one from Canas. You know, he played that with slice, which skidded low, and Sampras just wasn't able to stand in and tee off on it.
30-14.
Now that's quite rare, just to make an error like that. That's an unforced error by an inch.
And he's made a couple of them this game. So Sampras turning up the pressure right here.
Oh, very wise decision not to play it. Brief smile from Sampras, relieved, and he's broken. Well, now that might put a very different complexion on this match, and then again it might not. Underline it now, then, Sampras.
Just what the doctor ordered. When you're struggling, trying to find a way to win, all of a sudden it happens. And now it's a time to really solidify the hard work you've done.
He does make that look incredibly easy when it is incredibly difficult. The hand-eye coordination to smack one like that.
I mean, they should hang that one on a wall. that was pretty.
Pete had hardly finished his service action before it had gone past him. Put a bit too much meat on it, and he could be broken back. 2 points to break.
And Sampras having to play some good tennis to fight off this break point.
Canas gets it, almost everything in the court. That's the problem when you play him. There is just no relief from his consistency. I don't think I've seen a player recently, Leaf, who is, what I've just said, so consistent. I mean, he hardly makes any errors.
It's really awesome to see how he's able to get these relatively heavy serves back into play and to good effect. But we really shouldn't be surprised. I mean, he did this against Andy Roddick in the final in Toronto. And it's just, you know, Peter Fleming compared him to Bjorn Borg in that he runs well, gets a lot of balls back into play, and plays tremendous defense. Yet, when he needs to, he's not bad mounting an attack. So this guy's pretty well balanced.
He's got a good serve, too. He bangs in a few aces. They were absolutely even in aces and double faults just recently. 4 aces to each man, a couple of double faults to each man. And he doesn't seem to mind not having a crowd with him. I mean, goodness me, what's he going to be like when he plays in his home country? And they're roaring him on, because he didn't have him in the North American crowd in Toronto, and of course the American crowd here. Doesn't faze him at all, does it? He just goes on playing his like a metronome. To and fro goes the ball till he's won the point.
And you know what really is the best thing about him, I think, is that he plays with a hunger. You know, he wants it. And at times you watch a guy like Evgeny Felnikov, or you know, perhaps some of the guys who just go about their business but not really giving it enough of that effort. This guy's a real breath of fresh air.
15 love.
You know, he's going to give you the effort. And as you said, he never quits. Never quits.
The sort of guy you want in the trenches, isn't he? On your team in the Davis Cup.
Exactly. Well, as a rising player, I think there was something of a knock on Canas, that he was a little nervy at the big moments. That perhaps he got a little bit tight. But I think this year he's shown that he's stepping up, that he's facing the big moments and delivering his best when it counts.
Well, look how he finished off his match with Roddick. Smacked a few aces, if I recall. Just played a brilliant final game. I made the analogy of you know, the sort of guy you'd want in the trenches. Well, if you ask Canas to do something, he'd poke his head up and say, yeah, I'll look for that sniper. Can you imagine asking Evgeny Kafelnikov to do that? Say, no, I've got an ingrowing toenail. I'm staying here, mate.
And there's a little of the ability he has in playing aggressively from the back. He's ahead in the rally, and he continues to build the advantage. His ground strokes have a little bit of pop back there. Oh, here come the cavalry. Sampras has ordered the cavalry here down a set.
You might need them.
In contemporary war parlance, we call it the air cavalry, Bill. So no horses
really
involved there, yeah.
That's rather nice. Nice phrase. Could have sworn that was a Chinook by the sound. It makes that same pop, pop, pop noise. They're level at 4-all. This man, as soon as he was broken, breaks back. Sampras' serve, that last one, first serve was 112 miles an hour. Now, he pretty rarely did that in his prime, 125. Usually his first serve of a match was of the order of 125, 130, just sort of putting his card down. I'm here. Good old Lars Graf. He adjusts his features in a serious sort of, I totally agree.
An intense scowl.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Gosh, good try. Off an almost impossible situation, he still nearly made it. Well, that sounded like a miss hit, but even those go in from Canas.
Well, he put in a lot of mishits, as a matter of fact. Any way he can to get that ball back, he will. Doesn't mind using the frame of the racket either.
Well, at least he shares something with the rest of us.
You know, you pay for that part of the racket. You might as well use it.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure Canas has to pay for his rackets, though.
No. He'll be astonished. Aren't we all? He made a mistake. Too bad. Half an inch too long. Maybe that makes up for it.
Again, that serve just doesn't do anything. It comes right into the meat of his forehand. It is just not doing enough. And that stat, someone should pass that to Sampras and say, serve into the body. Don't serve into the forehand. That's for sure.
Game, Sampras.
Well, that was a good one. And Sampras goes ahead, 5-4.
Sampras leads by game to 4.
Some celebrities are perfect, but they're not the ones we're interested in.
They won't let me on tomorrow.
Jaw-dropping footage that we're not afraid to use.
I think they have to take responsibility for what they've done.
We'll stop showing it when they stop doing it.
Oh, okay.
He just grabbed me and sunk his teeth into me top of me head.
Chris found out for definite that she isn't a natural blonde.
This week,
They can't prove anything.
celebrities behaving badly. Tonight, 10 o'clock, Sky One.
It's all part of the game.
Judith, Assistant Deputy Vice Head. Well done.
Jolly good. All right, darling.
Nell,
No, that's Neil. Neil,
Co-Coordinating Supervisor.
you're going right to the top.
To empower your people, you could promote everyone.
Steve, Sub-Regional Sales Support Agent.
Well done, Steve.
Well done.
Jolly good. Well done.
Or you could give them the power to work anywhere.
Great stuff, great stuff.
Well, there are just one or two signs, pretty remote signs, but this man is just beginning to miss by an inch or two here and there. And I think the service rhythm, if not the speed from Sampras, is improving. Amazing, he got his racket on it.
Yeah, and the Sampras racket is something to consider as well. That frame is only 85 square inches. I mean, I don't think they make a racket now that has that small a head. I think the smallest frame nowadays is probably 90, maybe 92. I mean, not many guys using that small a head strung that tightly, certainly.
So good on the jump. You might see that again. I reckon he was airborne when he hit it.
Well, this isn't a bad reply right here. It's right down the lane. And Sampras has to stretch out. Yeah, just a hint of genius growing now in the Sampras game.
Left versus.
He certainly is making Sampras work from side to side. Good tactic, that attritional type play from him. Now that shot down the line is really not working too well for him. Two points here to make it 5-all. That's stretching Canas for a change.
And some nice forehands from Sampras. First the big flat one. This one's got a little bend to it. Gets it out wide. Just enough oomph.
Quite often finishes his service games with an ace down the middle.
Well, critical moments now for Sampras. 5-all. This is the business end of business here. He's really got to take care of his serve.
And he'll remember it right here that he was broken fatally in the first set.
Well, that time the serve had a little more stick out wide, so he's able to play the volley. Canas can't turn that return up the line as severely.
He's having to do a lot of lunge volleys, isn't he? Beauty of this returning.
Yeah. As a serve and volley, you hate that when the guy's meeting your first serve and just spitting it back at you disdainfully.
This is good serve and volley tactics. Very safe first volleys.
Well, that's what you admire about this guy. He keeps coming at you. He's going to force you to beat him doing what he does best. Now this brings up just a huge point here for Sampras. He's got to find a way to get through this game. And Canas making it very, very tough.
Canas annoyed he didn't make it, but perhaps he was admiring the incredibly difficult volley that Sampras had to play.
I didn't hear it, the machine didn't call it. When I call it, the machine will call it.
There's not a lot you can do about that, Pete. Nasdrov is having to do an awful lot of frowning in this match. Well, that is supposed to indicate to the umpire when a let needs to be called. Sometimes a little noise from the crowd can sound like it. It's an angry point he played.
Well, sometimes that's what it takes to bring out your best.
Now this point would guarantee Pete at least the tie break. Doesn't seem to matter to that guy, does it, whether he's playing serve and volleys, fellas like Roddick who prefer to stay back.
Advantage Canas.
Couldn't have done a more dangerous thing than that. You could almost look on this as a match point, a virtual match point. All it requires now is for Canas to come out and serve for the match. Canas, can he really be broken serving for the match? Can Sampras do it again? Tall order. Well, that's good. Sampras with a quite restrained shot. Canas, I'm not sure he was wise to run that far around it. Sort of slightly patronizing, hitting back to the Sampras forehand.
Well, he nearly pulled the trigger there, but again, it looked like he was just a little late with his feet. But again, Canas, deep, lots of topspin. Tough to hit a winner from that far back in the court.
Every shot of every point now absolutely crucial for Sampras. That was very, very close. And a quick, long stare by Canas.
Well, you just didn't think that Canas would give up an error like that. Such a critical juncture. He's been so solid. So perhaps the door just ajar slightly for Sampras.
Well, this had another little push, that draw. 2 great points, and listen to this crowd. Two of 3. That's a pretty good record on the break points for Sampras. So 2 chances now. Oh, he's done it. Quick look up to heaven. Broad smiles on the face of pretty well everybody in the crowd.
Well, Canas should know better. You have to be careful to play into this part of the court with Sampras. That's got to be his favorite shot. And he almost lures you into that, leaving that bit of the court open and then converting cross-court. So really Sampras' best game of the match. I mean, he was composed, no mistakes, converted when he had the chance.
Wonderful. This is what night matches is all about, isn't it? Both here and the US Open. This sort of excitement. killed the pace there. Racket acting like a sort of sponge.
Sampras has always liked the drop volley, but in the last couple years, he's been using that more and more. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes on it, and he's able to finish the point.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I said to the players, he's not going to use flash photography.
That is not the first time in this match that after the exchange to the backhand, he goes down the line and hits it long. Incredible invention by breaks, aren't they? This tension that every couple of points, a brace of points, all the tension was on him. Now it goes over to Sampras.
James Van Allen out of Newport, Rhode Island, invented the VAS system of scoring.
He's got a lot to answer for, that guy, hasn't he?
And of course, that VAS system was called the Van Allen Simplified Scoring System.
Yeah.
And it gradually evolved into a tiebreak. When it first started out, they used to put the red flag on the court whenever a tiebreaker was being played.
Kidding.
Well, I can understand Canas' concern about that call.
Wide? Maybe long, but not wide.
Canas very reasonable, I think, with his objections. And I think Lars Graf very sensible not to intervene. He didn't have the best view, that's for sure.
Well, it's 125 miles an hour near the line. That's a tough overrule. Well, this time it's Sampras doing some retrieving, and it paid off. Canas couldn't convert on the forehand.
Well, he's a master at running backwards, Canas, but he had to really shift then. And I think that's why he made the error, really. He's got a good backhand. I think he ought to rely on it a bit more. So the first broken point goes to Sampras. Oh, that's a bit sarcastic.
I think he's referring to the linesman.
Where did that go?
And it just looked like the opportunity was there for Sampras to hit a good, solid forehand down the line and take a good position at the net. And instead, he went for the cross-court winner, and he missed it. Nonetheless, Sampras with two serves coming.
And a break ahead. Two good points, and he'll have 3 set points.
Well, incredibly, the last 3 points on his serve have all been aces.
got 3 set points. Now then, they can evaporate very, very quickly. Ask Tim Henman.
Sampras.
That's a fabulous shot, really, with no warning at all it was going there. It's exactly the scenario that Henman had against Nalbandian. 2 set points on his own, match points on his own serve, and then a double fault. Oh, how cool can you get?
6-all.
Well, this is good stuff. But again, coming right into the forehand, he's got a pretty good look at it. But no mistake there. Canas again showing his resolve. And Sampras is going to come around. He's going to have one more serve here, and he has got to get a first serve. It's tough to attack serving and volleying on a second serve against Canas.
Well, that was a good serve. He got the first serve in.
7-6, Sampras.
And he's got his 4th set point. Oh, a magnificent shot. What a magnificent shot. There it settled.
When Derek Andrews' lorry got stuck, an accident...
Pretty rich entertainment. Canas. That's set all. And the crowd on the edge of their seats now. Oh, finally got that shot in. Down the line on the forehand. Down the backhand line. It's about the first time in the match he's got it in.
Like that's out, but then he makes the call if it's out.
Methinks he does complain just a little bit too much occasionally. It's all history now, so it's a bit pointless. Pretty good to me.
Certainly not something that's going to get overruled.
15-all.
I think Lars Graf, the umpire, has been eminently sensible in this match. He's had an awful lot of very, very close decisions where he could have overruled if he wanted notoriety or fame.
Wait, please.
Good try. Well played, Canas.
Well, that's the amazing speed and what it can do for you. It can earn you a point that you really shouldn't win. This is a winning volley. Yet he's able to dig it up and do something with it. Waving it long. speed, again, one of those intangibles that can really make a player difficult to beat.
Do I detect one or two signs, rare signs of getting hot, getting tired? Not really. Well, this would be a bonus for Sampras if he could win this point.
Just not enough decisive play with the racket face on that return. He floated it instead of knifing it. Certainly a return he could have made.
Advantage, Canas.
Well, he's missed that shot too. It is a difficult shot. You're aiming at just a sliver of court. And of course there's less distance to hit into rather than going cross court into the wide open spaces.
I didn't expect an error there, but just misplaying the one-hander. I'm sure Sampras was delighted to see that backhand go in the net.
Well played, Sampras. That's going to make life a bit easier for him.
Well, always nice to have a little cushion. And that should give him a nice head start here as we begin the third set. There's plenty of tension here, plenty of intensity from both guys. Canas questioning a lot of calls. And Sampras feeling like he was vindicated in that breaker. So this is going in the direction of a very fine finish. But you just knew that Sampras wasn't going to quit, a five-time finalist here in Cincinnati. So he knows what it takes to play here, and this crowd knows him as well.
Yeah, I think that makes a big difference. The crowd is absolutely keeping him afloat, I think. Smacks another. How many times can he do this?
Yeah, very short backswing. And again, using a lot of forearm just to get the racket through the hit and taking that speed that Sampras is giving him.
Not often we see him poised in mid-air half through a slam dunk he's leaving.
Yeah, that really is his trademark shot. But he didn't have to pull the trigger that time.
We didn't quite make it, but the half volley looked good. The technique was just about perfect.
Well, Sampras has been burned going into that forehand. He's burned again. Well, it had to be a good volley. With Canas, you can't just volley into the open court. I mean, you have to be decisive about it. Sampras gave that one just a bit of a nudge. Made that ball skip through the court, so it wasn't an easy pass.
It's been a long and tiring match, this, even though it is the night match. Just under 2 hours of play and just starting the final set.
30-40.
Break point.
Well, this time he gets the serve out of Canas' hit zone. He's able to mop up the easy return.
I get the impression this crowd has seen that slam dunk smash a few times. Unique.
Sampras again going out to the forehand. Let's see if he goes to the forehand on this second serve.
Advantage Canas.
Yes, you wonder why. And then Gubi coaching this man. He looks too young to have given up the game. Was it fairly recent that he gave it up? I remember his name.
Yeah, 2 years back. Oh, he measured that volley perfectly. It looked like it may travel long. But again, watch how he gives it just enough racket face, and that helps bring the ball down. Racket face is open, and he knifes it. A bit of relief there that it did fall in.
Yes.
Advantage Sampras.
Well, the 13-time Grand Slam champion, he knows something we don't, because he's going into that forehand again and again.
Either that or he's a masochist.
Well, a great battle. And that is a big game for Sampras to convert.
Serving into that forehand, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's his pride that, you know, I've got what used to be the greatest serve in the world, and you're not going to win against it wherever I serve. Could it that? Wouldn't be a good idea if it is.
Possibly. I think Sampras is just comfortable with that rhythm. And that's one of his best serves. He likes to hit it. Something about the way he let that go that made me think that he's into this match right now.
Left for switches.
Looked like he stole just a little glance at Canas there.
This fellow is not going to give up, that is for sure. Look at that, 21 forehand winners.
Sampras is starting to find the range on that forehand down the line.
So delicate.
Another of Sampras' favorite volleys.
Win this point and you've got a 3-love lead. Sampras stares at Canas. He's got that 3-love lead. Him up, see if he's tired or hot.
15.
He certainly, Leaf, has warmed to his task.
He really has. And you have to think also that Canas has a lot of tennis in those legs from last week. I just can't imagine him mounting a comeback from this position.
No, because it's not like the Sampras is, well, it is a double break. I mean, if it was just a single break, I think he might have rather more hopes, but a double break.
15, 30.
He's amazing at that shot. Short backswing, thumping through it.
I'll tell you, he's just taken that serve away. I mean, he's really returned very smartly, very wisely. He knows that's one of Sampras' best serves. He's recognized that. And he's just stepped out there and knocked it every time. It's a great play. Geez, did I count him out too soon?
Well, I wouldn't know. Sampras could tell you, no doubt. He looks as though he's got plenty left in him.
Yeah, he looks pretty resolute. I mean, I think this match means so much more to him right now than it does to Canas. I mean, he needs this win. He's got to try and build some momentum. Certainly a Masters Series title not out of his reach here in Cincinnati.
13, 14.
Sampras a bit astonished by that. It looked good from where we're sitting. Still serving into the forehand, and that was a chance to recover one of the breaks.
You know, I think Pete is committed to breaking down Canas' strength because he continues to go into that wing.
It's incredible that he is doing, yeah. Every one of these 4 first games of this set have had break points. Well, he hasn't brought that shot off too often. I can remember 2. One was good, one was lucky, and the rest weren't. Trying to be a little bit too cute there, and one of the breaks is gone.
Sampras leads against the 1.
And again, Sampras just not moving quickly enough to this floating ball. You see, he doesn't really get outside it and find that edge. Just not playing the volley he wanted.
So he'll be much more full of hope now, Canas. Serving to get just one game behind. Very different. He has touch too. He's got good volleys when he uses them.
15.
He's a man of parts, a man of all the skills, really. Sampras might well regret the loss of that service game, last game, where he should have been 4-1. Once again, he finishes a service game with an ace, and he is just one game behind now, and maybe getting closer still. 3-2.
Every month, thousands of homeowners benefit by arranging their loan with Ocean Finance. Many simply wish to consolidate their existing debts or raise money for that special purchase.
I contacted Ocean Finance after a friend had recommended their services to me, as she'd used them in the past, and found them very helpful.
There was no hidden charges whatsoever.
It was just all done very professionally. I did try other companies, but because I was self-employed, I had difficulties because I didn't have 3 years' accounts. But Ocean Finance were able to help me.
Found Ocean Finance staff to be very friendly and very professional. They were just such a pleasant company to go through.
I did have a huge commitment, and that was my downfall with my banks. But Ocean Finance thought it wasn't a problem.
It's just made a difference to our lives.
So, for that homeowner loan, call Ocean Finance now on 0800 916 9130. That's 0800 916 9130.
Now then, if Pete Sampras wants an easy life for the rest of this match, he better win this service game, or they're right back on serve, and that would be a disaster for him. Called in. Loud boos.
I thought about good.
The last graph is still not going to be involved. It was an easy volley for Sampras. I'm amazed he didn't take it. Well, on the basis of that, I see the ball slightly long, do you?
And that's a tough angle. I'll tell you what, Pete really reacted to that. I'd have to think that ball was out. But again, tight call. This one goes against Sampras.
Well, it might light a fuse in him, like another bad call did earlier in this match. Well, that really would have been rubbing salt in the wound if that had gone in. Just long.
So he made a very tough first volley there. Full stretch on the forehand, down low.
Brushy does get punished for serving at that forehand.
I mean, that time Canas whipped that cross court. I mean, he's been going strictly down the line, and that showed that he was well ready for the forehand. Not fooled in the least.
Every time. Pity we haven't got a statistic of Sampras serves to Canas' forehand. Clever shot by Canas. And here he has 2 break points to pull level at 3-all. Now this might require the best of Sampras to get out of this hole.
Well, that serve was wide enough. One of the few that's really cut away from Canas. The rest have cut right into the strike zone.
Astonishing. So was that wide enough? Maybe this is a battle of wills as well as tennis skills.
Absolutely. Sampras willing his game upon Canas.
Now it's his turn to do the old Vic. It's only a good bit of acting anyway, good or bad. Depends where the frame is stopped. Is that when it touched the ground?
I don't know. It's like watching the Zapruder film. I mean, where is the hit the gunman? Is it at the grassy knoll?
Impossible. From here, the ball looks good.
I don't think many of the crowd are on Canas' side. They certainly were on Sampras' side with that other bad call. Booed.
I mean, that's a tough call.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to go with the linesman, in or out. Whatever the linesman calls, you got to stay with it.
Absolutely.
The linesman happened to call it good.
Thank you.
I'm just not sure that that look is even conclusive.
Game second.
So it's definitely a conspiracy, Bill. I mean, there was a gunman on the grassy knoll.
Well, Sampras stayed cool. Of course, he was not on the receiving end of what this man thought was a bad call, but he polished it off very coolly indeed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Canas got a call that went his way on the baseline, so
yeah.
I didn't hear him complaining about that one.
Not too much. 2-4. Actually, that call, that recent one, might just be the watershed in this match.
50-11.
But hey, close calls are what make tennis interesting, you know, and how the guys react to them. That's what's eminently entertainment.
Absolutely. You must have the human factor.
I mean, it happens in every sport: basketball, baseball, cricket, soccer, all sorts of offsides calls.
Absolutely.
50-11.
Well, I'm surprised he's allowing it to get at him perhaps a little bit too much.
How about that?
It's when you win them.
So I guess Canas is winning more battles, but Sampras is ahead in the war. Depends on which battles you win.
Yep.
this would certainly be a huge moment if Sampras could get the breakthrough here.
Well, Napoleon made a pretty wise statement once. He said, don't disturb the enemy when you can see he's making a mistake. I wonder if that applies to line judges here. I don't like seeing Sampras play a shot like that. It's, in my book, on his day, he was the best player in the world I've ever seen. And just to see him flop a shot like that, not good. Beautiful, insistent attack there from Canas. He's still just one game away at 4-3.
Chris, when I watch Sampras these days, I almost get the feeling I'm watching a farewell tour. I mean, I actually get the feeling that I'm watching a guy that wants to get respect from the crowds around the world because he perhaps didn't have it in the 90s, because he won everything so easy. People didn't actually understand how difficult it was, and now he's trying to garner that respect from the press, the media, the public, and say, listen, it was tough. You know, I was a great champion, but, you know, we're talking about Sampras winning a match here as though he's won a tournament. I mean, let's be honest. If Sampras doesn't win the event, it's a failure. You know, this doesn't, you know, him winning matches is irrelevant. I mean, he's got to win titles.
But that's where he's at the moment, frankly. I mean, that's exactly where he is in his career. I mean, this is, he says, one of the biggest challenges that he's ever had, to try and get himself back into mixing it with the best and winning on a regular occasion.
Well, this is his starting block, and he's getting out of it occasionally, but he's not running the race. He's not finishing the race often enough, and you know, you know, if he doesn't win the title here in Cincinnati, as I said, it's a US Open. You know, what does Sampras gain by winning matches? It's nothing, and he's barely coming through matches here. You know, even last week when he won a couple of matches, 3-set matches all the time for Sampras.
It will be interesting to see how he bounces back from that today against Wayne Arthurs. That was a night match. He's going to be playing in heat today against Arthurs a little bit later on.
I think it's actually good that he's playing Arthurs because the points are going to be short. Wayne, you know, serves more aces than anyone else on the tour, so it's going to be a quick-fire match. So I don't think physical fitness is going to have anything to do with it. But I agree with you. Over the year, it has a lot to do for Sampras because, you know, especially at the Open, where he has to play back-to-back semi and final, it's a big issue.
All right, Mark. Of the day, Pete Sampras. 3 sets against Toronto champion Guillermo Canas. The crowd were on their feet. It's good to see Rios